For a lot of folks, the holidays are a good excuse to indulge yourself, but you don't want to go too far. Overeating can become a serious problem, and our Heidi Collins spoke to someone this week to find out ways to keep your appetite in check.
On a typical day, people make more than 200 decisions about food. And this time of year, there are far more choices and more decisions to be made than ever. It's no secret. Holidays can cause stress, and stress can cause you to overeat. Here to talk more about this is psychologist with Partners in Healing, Dr. Alana Riss Fine. So, Dr. Riss Fine, you specialize in this emotional eating. And around the holidays, we all know that things can get really chaotic. What does emotional eating actually look like?
Some people eat because of emotional eating, and some people eat because of physical eating or physical hunger.
Sure.
Physical hunger is a very gradual type of desire to eat. People start having a little bit of inkling for food, their stomach might rumble a little bit, and as time progresses, they get a little bit more and more hungry. When you have physical hunger, you eat, and then you're satisfied with what you eat. You taste your food, and you enjoy your food.
Right.
That's compared to emotional eating. In emotional eating, all of a sudden, people realize that they're hungry. They start thinking about something that they want to eat, and they want to eat it now.
And then they kind of obsess.
They obsess about it. It's in their mind, and it's in their mouth. They think about, I need a specific food, and they just want to eat it. And when they eat it, they don't even always taste it and don't realize they've eaten it until they look at their plate, and they get sad because the food is gone.
Yeah, and now, how can you control something like that? I mean, it sounds like maybe if you knew that you had this issue, then you could go through some sort of steps to make it at least a little bit more manageable.
A good way to be able to control it and prevent it is just having that awareness.
Sure.
Another thing is if there are certain environments or times where you might find that you're more likely to emotional eat, whether it's because you're meeting your family or you've lost something or you're nervous about an upcoming exam, take those times to realize that's something that you do and work around it. Try to find other ways to lose yourself in other things.
And you should also be able to differentiate between external cues for hunger and then this mindless eating that's just sort of out there. We should probably tell people, too, that this isn't always about just overeating. I mean, when you're an emotional eater, you can sometimes be under-eating as well, right?
Right, right. And I think it's more about the process of what people are doing when they're looking for food and as they're eating food and how they become satisfied for food and what they get from food. Whereas if you're having a fight with your mother and you're turning for food, even if you're only eating a few hundred calories, what is that doing to you and what are you accomplishing doing that?
Yeah, and it seems like, as we've been saying, the holiday thing is big time. What's the first thing you can do if you notice, hey, obviously I'm eating everything in sight, or I haven't eaten in, I don't know, a couple of days, and I've got a problem here with the emotion of this. After the holidays are over, first step should be?
Well, I think the first thing is try to create a good, healthy environment for yourself and not having a toxic food environment. If you know that there are certain foods that might trigger emotional eating, don't have them around and choose to have them elsewhere.
Are we talking about like chocolate and sweets and things like that? Are those usually what emotional eaters who overeat go for?
Well, I think that foods that have fat, sugar, and salt just trigger things in people. And studies show that when they look at people's MRIs, that dopamine receptors and opioid receptors go off in people when they have access to those foods. And it sort of kicks into that, bet you can't have just one type of eating style.
Dr. Alana Riss Fine, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, you can call this one